Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. Let's start with today's stories. Am I the idiot letting my parents know I am not getting involved in helping them with my estranged sister's kids? I, 29, female, have been estranged from my sister Elizabeth, 32, female, for the last 8 years. Back when I was 21, I was engaged to my ex Frankie, 30, male, and I had just found out I was pregnant. I told Elizabeth because she was my big sister and we were there for each other. It had been a huge shock to me because I got pregnant while on birth control. Elizabeth acted slightly off when I told her, and at the time I thought she was disappointed in me getting pregnant before finishing college. Days after I told her I was pregnant, she told me she and Frankie had been together behind my back for 3 years of my 5-year relationship with him. Not only were they going behind my back like that, but he had proposed to her and given her a family ring. She told me she wanted me to get in termination and leave them to be together. I miscarried around the time everything was coming out. I ended the engagement and Frankie moved in with Elizabeth. I did not speak to either of them again. My parents were torn between both of us. My grandma, who lives with my parents, had been firmly on my side. They said what Elizabeth had done was awful, but she was still a good person. We all knew the kindness she had inside of her and how she had been a good big sister until she wasn't. They respected that I did not want anything to do with Elizabeth when I was firm though, and they did not try to change my mind. 8 years later and I'm happily married now and expecting a baby with my husband Gray. Elizabeth and Frankie did get married after and they have children together. My parents have grown very concerned over Elizabeth as a mother. Grandma said she's very shallow and treats her kids like they're accessories and cares little for them or their well-being. She just wants them to look good and wear the cute things she picks out. Grandma rolled her eyes telling me all this. My parents are trying to intervene and protect Elizabeth's kids. They have mentioned it to me twice. The last time I got some vibes from them that they might ask me to intervene as well. I decided to get ahead of their ask by telling them I am not going to get involved in helping them with Elizabeth's kids. I said it felt like they were on the verge of asking and I wanted to save them the effort. My parents were stunned and questioned why I wouldn't want to get to know my nieces. I said we might be blood related, but that was as far as it would go given what their parents had done to me. I also told my parents I had no obligation to expose myself to Elizabeth again. And that it didn't surprise me too much that someone who would betray their own sister that way and ask her to get a termination, so her own relationship with my ex would be easier, would be a shitty mom to her kids and would see them as accessories. My parents said my attitude is too cold, and since I have moved on and found happiness, I should find love for my nieces. Am I the idiot? I feel for your nieces, OP. No child should be neglected by their parents, or feel like an object that their mother has to show off to others, but don't go back into their mess, OP. Do not have any kind of contact with your sister or your ex again. They are examples of people you thank the heavens for not being in your life anymore. Of course, no one wants to go through the pain you went through, but you got rid of what would be a horrible marriage. And I'm not even going to start talking about your sister, what a horrible thing she has done. Even though she's your sister, be forever grateful that she's not in your life anymore. Oh, and by the way, where is the children's father in all of this? Is your ex still in the picture? Are they still married? Doesn't he see the way his daughters are treated? Or does he just not care? So anyways, again, sorry for your nieces, but don't bring this toxic people back into your life, OP. Stay the hell away. Nobody wants to believe their kids are horrible human beings. I really feel for your parents, but where was this support for you when sis blew up your life? She's not a bad person, she does bad things, argument is ridiculous. Not the idiot. Since I have moved on and found happiness, I should find love for my nieces. No thanks, Mom and Pop. Your sister has never apologized, and keeping those kids not only reminds you of your sister's betrayal on a daily basis, it also means you'll have contact with her. You don't owe her that contact. She hasn't earned it. Not your circus, not your monkeys. I have always been of the opinion that blood means little compared to how people treat you. Not the idiot. Where is Frankie in all of this? Why is he not intervening? Regardless, not your circus. Why do your parents think they need your help? If there is a case of neglect, they should report it as such. Not the idiot. Probably having another affair. Not the idiot. Your parents are lucky that they still have a relationship with you. Not the idiot. Your parents are blinded and it seems like Elizabeth is the golden child. You did right by getting ahead of it. If they continue to persist, going low contact might be worth thinking about. Your grandma sounds like a lady who has her head on straight. If anything, you could call CPS anonymously on your sister if the children are really in danger, and wash your hands of it. But you are, under no obligation, to do so. Much love, OP. And what did you guys think of all this? What advice would you give OP? Leave your comments down below. Now let's continue to the next one. Am I the idiot for going on a trip and abandoning my family? I, female, 35, married my husband Ed, male, 40, when I was 25. He was already having an established career, own home, etc. He understood my need for the same, established career and property in my own name. I worked hard to get these both by the time I was 32. But the pressure from both my parents and his family made us decide to have a child. Since everything was 50-50 up to the childbirth, I expected the same after too. I took care of house management and childcare in my paid maternity leave. After the 6 months were up, I wanted to go back to work. My husband suggested I stay home with the baby until she turned 2. I didn't want to take a break from my career, but the fact was, he out-earned me and the logical solution was he would support both of us. But then COVID happened. We couldn't send her to daycare. I was again the primary parent for 2 more years, even though my husband worked from home. I didn't complain since he was the sole bread earner. But last year, I finally got a job and started sending our daughter to kindergarten. I was happy. I was more committed to my job than ever. But I had to work long hours and that meant splitting home chores and childcare. Maybe it was the break he got for 4 years, but hubby seemed to get depressed and agitated at having to do chores. He mentioned here and there how it was unfair he had to do these when clearly I could do it all. Yesterday, my boss asked me to travel next week for a work thing. It's a week-long trip and expected in my profession. When I told hubby this, he was incredibly mad at me saying I shouldn't commit to trips like these, since I have duties at home. I reminded him whenever he went on work trips, I managed it all by myself. He said it's not the same since I am a woman. I didn't like that and told him it's his duty as partner and parent, gender has nothing to do with it. I refused to back down from the trip. He called both sets of parents and they are now blasting my phone telling me as a wife and mom my primary responsibility is my family. That I shouldn't abandon Ed. No matter my arguments saying if I can do it so can he, they are still saying I am being a selfish a-hole for going. Am I the idiot? No OP, you are not acting like a selfish a-hole, your husband on the other hand, is being the definition of one. You stopped your career to take care of your daughter when it was necessary, now it's his turn to help. And what does he mean that it's not his job to take care of his daughter and do the housework in the house he also lives in? I know that when you stop doing a task for a long time, and then start doing it again, it can be hard, boring, inconvenient. But something like housework, it's something that everyone does. Just add back into your routine, it soon goes back to not being so difficult. But the way he's acting with this job opportunity of yours, it's ridiculous. I don't know if he's jealous that you grow at this job, or if he doesn't have the confidence to take care of your kid on his own, or if he just doesn't want you to go back to work and be a stay-at-home mom definitely. He might not have wanted this when you got married, or at least he didn't show you that he did. But now that he has had you as his personal maid and primary caretaker of your daughter for the past 4 years, I think, unfortunately, that his mind must have changed. It sucks that your partner doesn't support your job and is willing to sabotage your career to benefit himself. And still have your parents supporting him. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, OP, but by no means, give up on this trip. Good luck, OP. Now let's go to the comments. Not the idiot. Right here. He said it's not the same since I am a woman. No more needs to be said. He is an adult. He can cope for a week, he just doesn't want to, and because you're a woman he thinks it's your job. It's a double standard, don't put up with it. Yikes. Of course not the idiot. Your husband is being lazy and misogynist. If the kid is 4 and he still is not able to take care of the kid by himself, damn. He is the selfish one. Don't back down. If you back down on this one, you'll be the sole caregiver and housemaid forever. Certainly OP is not the idiot, but I'd phrase it more, that if you back down you're accepting a role as a stay-at-home mom, which is not the original agreement. You can make that choice, but being pressured into making it is not fair. And it double sucks to be the full-time housewife, caregiver, and work. Don't accept that no matter what. Not the idiot, not only do you have a lazy, misogynistic husband, but the people around you are from 1823. You are not abandoning anything, your husband is being ridiculous. Not the idiot, no way I'd stay 'cause I'm not raising 2 children. Not the idiot, you're right, your husband got spoiled by 4 years of you taking care of things. It's time for him to wake up. Not the idiot, but now you know your husband only values you at home and is a misogynist, same as your parents. Do as you please with this, but to me, it is the beginning of the end. How did you not see this earlier? And what do you guys think of all this? What would you do if you were OP? Oh, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for ruining a date? I, 34, male, had a date last night with a pretty nice woman. We seemed to be hitting it off pretty well, for the most part. The conversation led to our beliefs on marriage and kids. I told her I wouldn't get married without a prenup and I have zero interest in having another kid. This seemed to really piss her off. She told me that I am selfish if I want a prenup, and that I am essentially giving up on a marriage before it even has a chance. In my defense, I make really good money and have absolutely no interest in supporting an ex. She then went off about how it's selfish to not want another kid, because she hasn't had one. I told her I respect her feelings, but I could tell we're on 2 different wavelengths. I told her I was calling it a night. I paid the bill and left. When I got home she was blowing my phone up. She was calling me an asshole and told me that I am going to die alone. I told her that's okay. I like being alone. So, am I the idiot? Edit, you dudes acting like I should have not been straightforward on the first date to get laid are pathetic. I don't coerce people into sex. Get the F out here with that shit. Shaking my head. I got a daughter and would bash a dude's teeth in for coercing my kid into sex. What the F is wrong with y'all? For F's sake. Well, it's clear that you dodged a bullet, OP. You have every right to want a prenup if you get married and not want another child. It's your life, it's your choice. The same way that, if she wants something totally different from you. Marriage with no prenup, kids, a new house, a unicorn, and who knows what else. That's okay too. That's her life, her choice. Now what's really crazy is the way she acted towards you, for not wanting what she wants. Especially on a first date. Like, who does that? You're definitely not the idiot OP, and she is definitely not in her right mind. Was this a first date? If so, congrats on dodging a bullet. First date indeed. Not the idiot. Do people usually lose their shit over a prenup? My friend has a prenup because divorces can get so nasty. You dodged that bullet like Mario. In the end, her telling you that you'll die alone because you want what you want is all you need to know about her. Not the idiot. Not the idiot. You're upfront with a couple deal breakers, which shrinks your pool of candidates, but nothing wrong with that. Prenup does make it easier to break a marriage commitment, unless the prenup is generous after a long-term marriage. In that sense, you've got the security of some safety if divorcing, but it forces you to think long and hard about ditching the union. Weird on the kid thing. Some people want kids, some don't. It's a match or it's not. Nothing to get angry over. Not the idiot. The simple answer is that you may not be the first one to tell her this. If it happened once, you can chalk it up to a weird date, twice may be bad luck, but more than that, and they start to realize that finding a partner that will fund their lifestyle without asking for anything in return is becoming more difficult. LOL. You behaved perfectly cordial, she just didn't like the rejection. Cheers. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.